Hi everyone, my name is Lily and I'm the book blogger behind Utopia State of Mind, and today I'm going to be sharing my 12 Friends, 12 Books challenge for 2021. I realize that this video is kind of late. For me, I only thought about doing this challenge like halfway through January essentially, when I saw some other people doing it, and then by the time I had asked everyone, I was like not getting my act together basically until, it's been a while for this challenge, but I just want to let everyone know, I know that it's late. It's entirely my bad. I did not get this sorted out beforehand, and that's kind of, unfortunately how 2021 seems to be going. So basically the deal for 12 books, 12 friends, 12 books, or 12 books, 12 friends, is that you pick 12 friends and they each recommend you a book. This can either be like a book that they really love or maybe a book that they think you will love. So like, it's up to interpretation from each friend what book they choose. And so then the idea, because you're picking 12, is that you'll, I think, read a book a month. In January, actually, I read 2 books from the 12 Books, 12 Friends. So, that was a lot better than I thought I would. So I'm just going to share this. I had such a fun time getting people's recommendations, and also like the #1 response that I got when I asked people, they're like, well, I think that you've probably read like everything, so I'm not sure what to recommend. Things about like basically saying that, but maybe a little bit different. But I got 12 books, so, I may have read a lot, but not these 12. I love also about how these 12 books feature such a great mix of like books I've never heard of, books that have been on my TBR for a while. And I just love that the mix reminds me like why I add a book to my TBR. It's often because a friend that I really admire likes a book, and so then that's how I know to add it to my TBR. Or, books that I hadn't heard about at all. So there were some where I was like, oh, it'd be great if this was maybe like a book like this, or I liked a book like that. So I'm excited for this list, and here are the 12 Friends, 12 Books. So the first one is, this is no particular order, by the way. This is literally just how I wrote it. So I'm going to link everybody's handles and everyone's social media down below, and also the books down below. So the description box will be super full of great people and great books. So the first is Mike, and this is a recommendation. I actually know Mike. I've known Mike for a while now. We met up randomly actually because I think at BookCon 2018, I made this like tweet that I was like, oh hey, just in case anyone like I follow is here and wants to say hi, like I'm around. And yeah, that's Mike. And that's how we first met each other, and then only through then we found out that like we had so many different things in common, and Mike is such a great person and also a great reader. We share a lot of great, we share a lot of great things. No, we share a lot of common interests and common tastes in sci-fi, and I think like at that BookCon we also ended up really both wanting to get like more Milan signature on Ignite the Stars, and that's one of our favorite series that we both. I've been trying to film this all day. First off, I tried to film this and like a storm came through, and that's still coming through, and I hope the lighting's okay. But on and off, basically like every time I'm about to start this, someone starts construction. So there's gonna be so many cuts through this video. Anyway, that's how I first met Mike. Ignite the Stars is one of our favorite series that we both really love. And so Mike recommended The Company, which is a sci-fi, I think, story by Max Barry. I think I read Providence by Max Barry a couple years, maybe not a couple years ago. I have no concept of time anymore. I think I read it in 2019, but as I said, I have no concept of time anymore, so I'm excited because I think that The Company may have been an earlier release, and I think that's why when he found out I was reading Providence, he was really excited. So the next one is Fadwa from Word Wonders. Fadwa recommended me, the actually only one really that I have in person, is The Wicker King by Kay Ancrum. I've been looking forward to this book for so long, and it's only because of Fadwa. Like, I think that Fadwa recommended it ages and ages ago, and actually when I wrote Fadwa, they were like, oh, wait, you haven't read that already? And I have not read it already. That's why it's here. I've read Kay Ancrum's some other books. I read The Weight of the Stars, which is gorgeous. It was like a 5-star almost instant read for me, and I'm so excited for Darling, which is another of, or I think is the more this year's release from Kay Ancrum. But anyway, I'm really excited for The Wicker King, and The Wicker King is Kay Ancrum's debut, so I'm very, very excited for this one. The next one is from Laura from Green Tea and Paperbacks. I've been friends with Laura, like, I want to say basically when I started blogging. Like, I became friends with a few really close blogger friends around that time. Laura's one of them. Fadwa's one of them. Like, basically everyone, most of the people here I've been friends with for a really long time. Basically, like, all around that time period. And if you go onto my blog, like, years and years back, you can see that I had the energy to kind of coordinate a whole guest post, giveaway, birthday celebration. And those are some of my very first book blogging friends. So I've been friends with Laura for a while. We talk basically like every day now. And Laura recommended To Be Taught If Fortunate, which is the novella in the Wayfarer series, which is perfect timing because A, I just finished Record of a Spaceborne View, and B, I have the arc for The Galaxy and the Ground. I will put the title somewhere here. I keep forgetting. I know it's Galaxy and Ground. And that's the fourth book, I think, in the Wayfarer series. So the novella chronologically is like right now perfectly for me to read. But it hasn't arrived yet. So unfortunately, that's why it's not here. The next one is from Shalea. And Shalea blogs at ShutUpShalea. And I will leave the link below, obviously. Shalea recommended Lalani of the Distant Sea. I've been wanting to read an Erin Entrada Kelly book for a while. I finally read We Dream of Space, which is one of the arcs that I had from Kelly. It was something that I wasn't really expecting, and I do think that reading the synopses of a few of Kelly's other books, it does seem a little bit like a departure from those other stories. So I'm excited for Lalani of the Distant Sea because it kind of seems more what I was expecting from Kelly. And I'm just really excited that there's a middle grade here. It's the only middle grade here, I'm pretty sure. So I'm very excited to read a middle grade because that's something I want to read a lot more in 2021, just like for my mental, heart, emotional health. The next one is from Lily from Sprinkles of Dreams, and it is The Rape of Nanking. So it's definitely one that I need to read the trigger warnings before I read it, but I'm excited because I've heard Lily talk about it for a while actually, and so I knew that was a book that probably was going to be recommended to me. But I'm very excited because I think I'm looking at my sheet here. I think it's the only historical fiction one I have. So I'm very excited for that one. The next one is from Kate, and it's from Your Tita Kate, and Kate is like everywhere basically. So I'll leave Kate's YouTube below. But Kate recommended A Memory Called Empire, which is perfect timing because I think I'm supposed to be getting an arc of the second one. And A Memory Called Empire has been on my TBR basically since it released. I've been looking forward to it for a really long time, and I thought that I was going to get to it a lot sooner than I did. I'm at the whims of natural lighting for my photos, for my YouTube videos, like for everything, so I'm sorry if the lighting's going to be all out of wax for this video. I've been looking forward to A Memory Called Empire for a really long time, the TLDR before the lighting got in the way, and so I'm really excited that this makes it onto my 12 books, 12 friends. I want to call it actually 12 friends, 12 books because they were friends and then they recommended books. That kind of makes more sense to me. So the next one is from Delara from Book With No Name. They recommended A Big Ship at the End of the Universe, and I should have realized that they were going to recommend that because they talk about it all the time. It features in so many of their photos, which are gorgeous, so check out their Instagram. But I've had this book on my TBR for years now. The publisher gave it to me so long ago because they thought that I would really like it. And so I'm like very sure that I will like it, and I've seen Delara put it on their Instagram so often, so I really should have expected that this was going to be the book. It gives me a little bit of a push to read the book, and so I'm really excited for that. The next one is from Carmen at Tomes and Textiles on Instagram, and Carmen recommended Gabby, A Girl in Pieces, which I know nothing about. This is one of the only books where I didn't know anything about it. I think there's only like 3-ish or 4, like less than half basically, where I didn't know any of them, and so this is one of them. So I'm just so excited because I love discovering books that I'd never heard about before. The next one is from Vicky. You're very familiar with Vicky. Vicky and I co-host the Backlist Bookworms chat every month, and Vicky blogs, and Vicky's been blogging basically before I blogged. I just admire Vicky so much. And so Vicky recommended The Song of the Abyss. she wanted to recommend Isle of Blood and Stone, but I actually read Isle of Blood and Stone when I was working at HMH, so I don't have a rating for it, and I didn't write a review because I needed to read it kind of for my job, but I did not read the sequel, which is Song of the Abyss. I'm really excited. Vicky keeps like talking about how much she really loves this series, so I'm prepared to jump back in and really love it. I love map making kind of things, so I'm very excited for that, and it was one of the things that I really loved about Isle of Blood and Stone, so I'm excited for Song of the Abyss. And also, it's not really talked about as much as some other series, so I'm just excited in general for it. The next one is from Marie at Drizzle and Hurricane Books, and it's It Sounded Better in My Head, which is one of the only 2 that I read in January. I got an early bound manuscript of It Sounded Better in My Head because I had requested something else from Flatiron, and Sarah was so kind enough to kind of send me that as well, but I didn't get to it. But I'm getting to it now. I'm really sorry. I'll tell you about my feelings about It Sounded Better in My Head in my next installment of the 12 Friends 12 Book series, just because this video is already kind of getting a little bit long, and I really want to focus it like very much on the books to kind of keep myself accountable. The next one is from Dana, and Dana is a romance fan, and Dana is also on YouTube, so I'll leave Dana's channel below. And of course, Dana recommended a romance book, and she recommended The Pursuit Of by Courtney Milan. I'm excited for this because A, it's a novella, so it is easier for me to read, and B, it's from Courtney Milan, who I've never read any of, but I know that she's a super well-known romance writer, so I'm excited because if I really like this, then maybe it's like a gateway to more of her books. I've actually also read The Pursuit Of already, so as I said, you will see that review in the 12 Friends 12 Books part of this series, but I've already read this one basically because Dana was one of the first people to give me a title, and it was a novella, and it was around the holidays, and I was like, yes, I want a romance novella to kind of like relax over the holidays, and I devoured it in like 2 days maybe. And the last one is from CW. You'll find CW at The Quiet Pond, and CW recommended Seance Tea Party, which is one of the ones also I know nothing about. So it's been such a great joy, as I said, to find books where I know nothing about them, and books where I've meant to get back to them, and like, you know, books that I already love or think I'll love. So I'm really, really happy about the 12 Friends 12 Books, and specifically the books that were chosen for these. And yeah, I'm just so excited for Seance Tea Party, just because it's a book I don't know anything really about, and I really value CW's opinions in books. We share a lot of favorites, like the Want duology, for example, so I just know that I can't really go wrong with it. So that brings me to the end of the 12 Friends 12 Books. Finally, by the end of the video, I have gotten it down, Friends books. The 12 Friends 12 Books reading challenge that I've done for myself, which is different than all the other reading challenges which have already been kind of prescribed. This is from recommendations for friends. So please let me know down below if you've read any of these books and have anything to say about them, and also what book you would recommend if you were recommending me a book. Maybe I will somehow find the time to pick that one up. I hope so, because I really think it would be so sad if I didn't read these books by the end of 2021. So please send me all of your good vibes. I am going to need it. As always, I will see you in the next one, and hopefully you'll see me in the part 1 of the 12 Friends 12 Books series. Bye!